All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. So you'll see here today, that was a familiar face. That's Mr. John Wilburn. And right after that was our early 70s dart swinger there, belongs to Mr. Hayden. So if you'll remember, we're going to do a kind of a channel crossover deal with that. John's going to come down to see me, and we're going to get that 318 stuck together. Kind of my contribution to this engine and the build. I've got some good 302 casting heads here, and we got to get them stolen off this, it's either an 89 or 90 model 318. So I'm just yanking exhaust manifolds. This sucker is super nasty. I know, John's 318 looked pretty bad, but I think mine might take the cake. You'll see it in a minute. It's amazing how this EGR stuff works. And how it just seemed to fill the engine with filth and funk. I pulled it out in big black chunks. It looked like something from, a different planet, but whatever. You can kind of look down there. I had to dig through all kinds of funk. This engine ran less than 6 months ago. So it drove to the shop. I actually sold the truck that it was in, and Shane brought me the engine back. That was part of our deal. I said, man, I don't have time to pull this, but I do want the engine. It is a roller 318. So I'm going to get these heads yanked off here, carry to the machine shop after I clean them up, check them for cracks, be sure all our valves are sealed, seating, whatever. And I'm going to give it a good mild port job, kind of increase the airflow coming in and out of there, and go around our combustion chambers where they've got some really sharp edges. You'll see that here shortly, but this sucker was nasty. Here's my big 4-way lug wrench that was on the back of the car hauler. That was basically the only way I could rip that TBI intake off, since it was married onto there for, is that going on 30 years? Something like that. This engine, like I said, purred like a kitten. I drove the truck down the highway and, even left a black mark. It had plenty of low end torque and such, but getting it yanked apart. The valve cover inside was surprisingly clean compared to inside see there? That's really not bad. Rockers all looked good. I actually sold those off this engine. But when I get that intake off, man, that sucker is disgusting. But getting the heads pulled, I'll let y'all kind of check that out. It's not a biggie, but I'm just running through the process. I think I ended up having, maybe 15 minutes and yanking these heads. I got my engine covered back up. It'll be a good 318 for somebody someday. But the heads themselves, they're going to be pretty trick when I'm done with them, I think. Just for stock 302s. Uncle Tony talked about, get them really ported and open up that airflow. And that's what I'm going to do. I've got a couple porting videos, and I'll do a quick one on this one, or on these heads. Get around a bowl. That's a lot of people skip the bowl area and, just hit the ports. But I think definitely the improvement's got to be around the bowl area. And there goes that intake. This sucker was nasty. But anyway, if you have not seen yet, John's got a couple episodes kind of describing what our build's going to be like. One of them was actually a Christmas episode where he had the engine under the tree. That was pretty funny. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. I'll leave a link to his channel. But he's coming down to Arkansas. We're going to do lots of stuff that I think you'll find interesting, especially if you like old Mopars. Maybe might even get to go out and go drag race somewhere. That could be on our to-do list if I've got something ready to race anyway. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching, and hope you hang out till the end. And here they are. Got a little bit of suspect spot going on here. I can't tell if it was maybe just a head gasket leaking or what. I don't see any big major cracks yet, but I gotta get them cleaned up. And I think I'm gonna start by letting them soak in some jet fuel for 3 or 4 or 5 days. It shouldn't hurt anything. It's just like really clean diesel. That spot there looks a little psychedelic, but I don't see any weird cracks coming off of it. Not until it's cleaned up. Plugs. I think that's my blackest one. It was black and shiny, so it probably was burning oil or something. That one just looks pretty fouled. Yeah. So I hope Hayden's ready for them. They still like a little bit, but I gotta do some port work. We talked about it on Uncle Tony's Live. Trimming all the way around here, kind of knocking that down some, and anything that could cause some detonation, it's got to go. And I'm gonna do a nice port job on these. That'll be my donation to Hayden. Get them checked out. Be sure our springs are in order and all that. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.